Welcome to the Blind But Not Broken podcast, a journey through resilience and perception, where every mile reveals a new insight. Join us as we navigate the road ahead.
Hey everyone, I'm Junior, your host for Blind But Not Broken podcast. Welcome to another episode. This time I want to talk about, a friend that we call him Boo. He's challenged, and he was only maybe 35. I just found out that he passed away suddenly, and it breaks my heart. This kid was wonderful. I got to tell you a story. It was a Christmas, and we had went over to their family's house, and Boo loved video games, but he didn't have a console or anything. So I went and got another console and gave him my console. It was a PlayStation, and it had some games with it, and one of the first present he opened up. And you got to understand, nobody's rich. Everybody's money isn't aplenty. So you go by what you have. And so go ahead, and I knew that Boo would love this game. Well, took him, and he opened up the game, and he went crazy, and we hooked it up to the big screen TV, and he started playing. And people were like, well, here's another present for you, Boo. And he's like, no, I'm playing. And I started laughing because I thought it was just funny. Where is there a kid that doesn't want more presents? And this kid was so enthralled with the PlayStation and the game he was playing. I forget the game, but the game he was playing. And he didn't want to open up anything else. Told everybody quit bothering him. He wanted to play. Wonderful kid. And it breaks my heart that he's gone. The reason I'm telling you the story is because it just goes to show you that you never know what's going to go on, because this was sudden, this came on. And you never know when those people that you care about or the people that you love in your life just aren't going to be there suddenly. It's just another proof that make sure that the people that you love in your life know that you love them every day. Know that you love these folks. Boo was a wonderful kid. And even though I haven't seen him in a while because I couldn't go to their home because his grandparents, where he lives, they smoke, and it's not good for my lungs, or Kim's lungs. She has a real problem breathing, so we couldn't go over there. But love the kid. I wished I had had more time with him because he made things just better. Didn't matter how hard of a time you were having. You talked to Boo for 5 minutes, and all of a sudden you just felt better. He had that kind of effect on people. He didn't even know he had that kind of effect on people, but he did. And I will miss him dearly. My whole point of this is when you have people in your life, no matter who it is, doesn't matter if you're fighting with them, it doesn't matter if you're arguing with them, but you have people in your life that you truly care about. Sorry, got stuff in my dead eye is leaking. Anyway, it's never a waste of time to make time for the people in your life. It's never a waste. You always get something out of it because you are spending time with people that you love, that you care about, etc. And it doesn't matter whether they choose to make time. It matters whether you choose to make time. You're the one that can choose for you. They're the only ones that can choose for them. Boo couldn't choose because he needed people with him, etc. So he had to go where they went. And I get that. And so for me, it wasn't the same type of thing there. I'm just trying to stress it to you guys because of the fact that it doesn't matter what you're fighting about, etc. When their time comes or when your time comes, it's over. And then you have regrets. Don't do regrets. Like I said before, live. It's your final day. There's not going to be a tomorrow. Today's your last day. What would you actually do? If today's your last day, what would you do? If you knew that you weren't going to wake up tomorrow, what would you do? Would you go skydiving? Would you turn off the TV and spend time with the person you love? Would you automatically decide to take your kids to Disneyland or Disney World or whatever, amusement park of some kind? Would you go skiing? Would you get up into the mountains and just enjoy that? Or would you go to the ocean and sit on the beach and hear the waves hitting and then look at the boats going by? What would you do if it was your final day? Because one of these days, it's going to be your final day and you're not going to know it, most likely. And you're going to regret that. Other people are going to regret it. That you didn't do that one thing that you wanted to do, or that two things that you wanted to do, or you didn't spend time with the people you cared about, or you didn't eat that lobster you'd never had, or whatever it possibly could be. Whether you decided to go to a children's ward and dress up like a clown and try to make them smile and laugh. Maybe that was the last thing you had on your bucket list. Who knows? But don't regret not doing it. Do it. Make a conscious effort to do it. It's a choice, just like everything else in life. It's a choice. If you can choose to do it or you choose not to do it. You could be working right now, for instance, and I get it. If you're working and well, I can't do whatever. If you knew it was going to be your last day, what would you do when you got off of work, for instance? What would you do? Would you just go home, make dinner? Or would you spend the last time looking into the eyes of that significant other that you care about, reassuring them that of how you feel so that they have no doubts in their minds where your mind's at? Because if you live like that every day, even when you go to work, you do your thing, and you're tired of your job, well, you got a choice there. Like with AI now, you have a choice with AI. You may not have had a choice before, or you didn't think you did. But with AI, you can learn different things. What if you wanted to start up a business or something you've wanted to do, whether it be leather work like my brother Kirby, or whether it be a painting or whatever. You want to be an artist, you want to do cartoons, you want to do videos, you want to do a blog, you want to do podcasts, you want to talk politics, you want to preach to somebody, you want to pass on your knowledge, for instance. You may have your significant other may be pregnant, or you may have adopted a child and you want that child to know certain things. Well, why not videotape that and videotape talking directly to the child so that the child, even though they're not going to grow up with you, they're going to grow up knowing who you are and what you stood for. It's an amazing thing when you start thinking about it. But most people don't think about it. Most people are like, well, yeah, I've always got tomorrow. I've always got blah. One of these days, you're not going to have that. One of these days, it's going to be your final day. That's the inevitable thing about life. You're going to die. There is no miracle cure to where these people that are freeze drying themselves till miracle cure comes up. It's just not going to happen. You're just going to end up a popsicle the rest of your life. You can change your world. How would you do it? If you wanted to do a business, write out that plan. How would you do that business, etc.? Because here's the deal. You don't know that child, like I was talking about, or somebody else could see that plan and go, wow, that's a really good idea. Let's do that. Now you're long gone, but you just affected a whole bunch of people because of that plan you did. You can do as much as you want to do. It's a choice. I try to tell that to everybody. It's a choice. It's always a choice. When I was on the road, when I was trucking, it was a choice for me to eat pizzas and things like that. It was a choice not to eat certain days because I knew I had to make it across the country in a day. And I didn't want to get tired. And when you eat, you get tired. Well, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to get tired. So I would drink lots of fluid, coffee, tea, sodas, whatever, but I'd haul ass across the country. And looking back on what I was doing and that kind of thing, and I loved trucking. Do not get me wrong. I loved the fact that I got to do all the things I got to do. Trucking afforded me to do a lot of things. A lot of concerts, for instance, backstage, so I didn't have to deal with the people. That was cool. I probably saw 300 concerts in my time, and 99% of them were free, and I was backstage on them. Little tricks I learned. I fished in every state. I used to deliver in Montana. They call grinding balls. They're these balls that are about this big, made out of lead. They're metal grinding balls, and they use them in a big grinder for coal and things like that. It's how they grind into diamonds and different things like that. And they put them on this flatbed. They put little walls on this flatbed, and they just dump them all in, and they weighed a ton. But you'd go up to Montana, and I would leave Arizona, leave Chandler, Arizona, go to side of Butte, Montana, from the mountain, and I would park, and there was this stream right there where I could park my truck. And I'd park it the night before. I'd get coffee in a thermos, and I had my hibachi, and I had my fly rod. And I would get up in the morning, and I would have some coffee, and I would go to that stream, and I would fly fish for rainbow trout or brown trout or cutthroats. And that's what I would do that. And they had cutthroats up there. And then I'd cook them on my hibachi on the back of my truck, and I would eat that with my coffee. That was my breakfast. It was amazing. I loved it. It was so freeing. It was so wonderful. I would be in 80, 90 degrees one day, and the next day I could be where there's snow. It was just amazing the different things that I got to do and see and live. I got to live. And no, that's not for everybody. And no, I don't know that it's like that anymore. The people I've talked to now, it's nothing like that. The freedom is gone from the road. It was amazing when I was doing it. I'm sure other people say the same thing about even before me. It was amazing when they were doing it. But the different things I got to do, and if I laid over, and what, all the different experiences and beauty. Hell, my truck even got attacked by a moose in Alaska. I guess I was parked in a spot or something, but he beat the side of my sleeper in with it was amazing with this rack, and it was like scared the hell out of me when he was doing it. But it was an amazing thing to see nature like that, to see just everything. This world is beautiful. This country is amazing, and there's so many things to do in it, so many things to see. And if you live by mountains, or if you live by an ocean, or if you live in the desert, or there's so many different things that you can do and see. Go horseback riding. Most states have stables where you can go horseback riding. See the beauty. There's so much amazing life. Life itself is amazing. You just have to open your eyes and look at it. People, they get all pissed off at themselves or at other people, and they blame them for this or that or the other thing. Don't have the regrets. Do the things that you want to do. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and kill somebody. I'm telling you, do the things you want to do. If you want to toboggan down a mountain, go find a place you can do that. AI will help you search. Ask AI, it'll tell you. It's a nifty thing. I use AI for all kinds of stuff. I have a program that I use for AI to for instance, edit these videos. And the pauses that I have and the uhs and the et cetera, when I'm thinking, they all get taken out by AI. AI takes all that stuff out just like that quick. It's funny. Alexa, stop. AI. There's many different types of AI that I use, and it's enhanced a lot of stuff. I wouldn't be able to do this without it. I'm blind, for God's sake. I can't see. I'm going after something. I practice what I preach. I'm going after, for instance, a guide dog. I'm going after one. And in order to do it, I had to have my doctor write a note saying he's deaf, dumb, and blind pretty much. And it's like, because that's what they required. So I had to go after it. But that's the point. I can learn to do these things through different stuff. There's some things I can do, some things I can't. And for instance, with this podcast, when I build up the 5 grand that I need, I will start doing live podcasts where you people will actually be able to call in to me. And I'll have AI answer AI will be answering that phone call and figuring out what you want to talk about, and then you'll get to me, and then we'll talk. Well, we'll be able to talk, etc. You'll be able to ask me anything because I'm an open book. I don't care. That's the nice part about being me. I don't let shit get to me because I've learned over the years that life is amazing. And it's like just because you've got some really not very nice people out there. Notice how I did that? It was very nice. See? But there's not very nice people out there, and they want to start fights with you. They want to do this. They want to do that. I've read comments on people that do this for stuff, and it blows me away. And because people are so negative and they're so evil toward each other. And it's like, I understand it releases endorphins, and those endorphins feel a certain way, and some people like the way that feels. Oh, great. They're not part of my group. They're not part of who I talk to. If you're negative to me, I walk away from you. There's just, if you can't have a civil conversation with me, no matter what it is, if you meet me face to face and you want to, I'll have a civil conversation with you about anything, as long as it's civil. I'll even talk politics with you if it's civil. I won't do it here on the podcast because too many people get way too evil on that. Just like religion, they do the same thing. I won't talk that. But face to face with somebody, I'll talk about it as long as they're civil. The minute they're not civil, I'm out of there. I don't do that. You're calling names, the petty crap. You hit me with facts. Make me think, make me believe in something. That's what the conversation's all about. Make me believe. Let me hear your side of the equation. And then you can hear mine, because the reality is if we get into a conversation, I'm going to be prepared for that conversation because I'm going to use multiple AI to fact check the hell out of you if I don't know it. I'll do the same thing to me. I don't tell you things that I don't know because I'd rather you think I'm stupid than me opening up my mouth and proving it by saying something that I don't know. Like I said, life is amazing. You just got to wake up and smell the coffee, smell the roses, smell whatever the hell you want. Smell an armpit. I don't care. But if that's what turns you on, you do you. But back to the original thing, don't stand in your own way when it comes to people you care about. There's too much that you can do to affect their lives before your time's done here. And wouldn't you rather affect their lives really awesome so that when they look back on you and they think about you, they're not thinking, oh, what an ass. They're thinking, wow, he or she was really awesome. Oh, do you remember the time they did this? The time I singed my eyebrows off. I was telling you about one of my other podcast episodes. I was telling you about Daniel in Minnesota who had passed away. He was like a brother to me, and igniting that big bunch of twigs and logs and everything in the middle of his land, and we were going to burn it. I poured gasoline all over it and made the trail, and then thought I was back far enough. And when I lit it up, you saw that line of flame going in, and then when it hit, it lifted the whole rat's nest that we had there that I had poured gas on. It lifted the whole damn thing up probably 5, 6 feet. Just went whoom. It threw me backward and burned my eyebrows right off. It singed my hair. It was wicked. Dan laughed his ass off about it. Now, I'll bet you his soul is somewhere laughing about those days because those are memories. Were they dumb? Yes, we were dumb as hell. I needed money in Minnesota. I needed money at one point, and so I entered a little race they had where you had snowmobiles and you had ice over the lake, and you had in one part of the lake, you had a giant hole that was water. And what you were supposed to do is run the snowmobile as fast as you could, hit the water, and hopefully get to the other side. A lot of people sank their snowmobiles doing that crap. It was just stuff we did. We were stupid. It was ignorant. But you take an old snowmobile, get it going, and wham. And you do the most outrageous person would win $1,000 or whatever, because it cost, I don't know, 20, $30 to enter it. And it was like, you'd win $1,000 because a lot of people entered this thing. And I'm sure Daniel's up there laughing and thinking about when I went across the lake naked as a jaybird on a snowmobile and sank the snowmobile. Ended up in the water. Boy, was that cold. I had things that crawled up inside my body so fast that I didn't see them for a week. And I was a virile young man at the time. So not seeing certain parts of your body for a week is a problem. It's just stupid crap like that. I remember it and I still laugh about it. Some of the dumb things that I did, some of the things that I saw trucking. that you tell people and they're like, they think you're nuts. They literally do. What I'd like from you guys, honestly, is tell me what you want to hear, what you want to talk about. Tell me if, you have a loved one, if you have somebody that you care about and you have a problem with doing them. Tell me if you know somebody that has gone through hell and come out the other side smelling like a rose. Tell me about that person. I would love to interview that person. I would love to interview anybody that does that. Like I said, since I started this, I've had a few people that were in my young days that I hadn't seen for 30, 40 years. And yet now I'm back in touch with them. It's amazing. Just the power of reaching out. I want that for everybody. I want everybody to feel that because those endorphins really feel good. Unlike the endorphins you get when you're pissy and moany and putting somebody down or whatever. I get it, psychology. You put somebody down because you don't want to look at yourself a certain way. Well, the reality is though, until you look at yourself and until you go, well, I have a problem with that. That course I took with Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within. It was amazing. I didn't know I was carrying around baggage from my childhood. Did not know it, had no clue of it. And yet here I was, boom, I was bawling like a baby and going, wow, I didn't realize that was affecting me. It holds you back. That's what it was doing to me. It was holding me back. And I didn't think I had anything holding me back. I thought, boy, I got it made and I know what I'm doing and blah. Didn't know squat. Practicing what I preach, though, is the whole point, and that's what I'm doing. Bettering myself, doing my different stuff. For instance, I'm going to take another course of AI with Tony Robbins and Dean, and I can't pronounce his Grossi. I can't pronounce his last name. And their team, they've got a free AI thing that I did last year that taught me everything, a crap ton about AI because I knew nothing about AI. And it took me a crap ton. Well, I'm going to do this now too. You guys could do the same thing. It's free. It's a 3-day, 23rd, 24th, and 25th of April. And it's 3 hours a day, but it's free. And there's a group and that you can get into and talk AI and AI hacks and all kinds of different stuff. You'd be surprised what this stuff will do for you, whether you own your own business, whether you're in business, whether you work for somebody and you want to better yourself so that honestly you can't be replaced because you're that good at what you do. AI will help you do that. AI is a tool. You just got to learn which AI you need for what tool you need. For instance, you don't want to slam a wrench into a nail to try to knock the nail into a piece of wood. You need a hammer for that. You don't want a hammer to try and twist a screw. You need the right tools. There's a crap ton of tools out there. I was talking about how I edit this stuff. I tell it what to do, and it does it. That's how I can do it blind. I tell it, blah, when I said this, take that out, and it does it. When I say, put the intro on here, put the outro on here, it does it. When I say, take the full episode and put it onto Patreon, because that's where all the full episodes are, it does it. You guys get to see the short little clips. That's what AI also does. I tell it short little clips for TikTok and etc. And it does it. And then I schedule it to go out to all the different platforms and it does it. And when I tell it to do it, how often I tell it to do it, etc. That's why my stuff drops like it does, because I tell it and it just does it. You guys can do anything. And I mean anything. There's nothing you can't do. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter any of this stuff. I told you guys on another episode about Colonel Sanders, for God's sake. He was, 68 years old when he started? Got told no over 200 times. Now everybody knows who the hell he is. Everybody knows Kentucky Fried Chicken. Everybody. Well, if that man could do it, I'm getting out of my comfort zone even doing this. But I'm going to go even further once I get the equipment that I need. The equipment that I need that's at my fingertips so that I can actually put my hand on something, feel it, and know what I'm doing. Or I can get AI to answer the phone because I can plug everything into this one little unit. But like I said, that's what I'm doing. I'm raising the $5,000. I'm going to raise it. It may take me 10 years, but I'm going to do it. And the minute it gets done, that's when I go live. And I'll start going live and talking to you people one on one about all kinds of different things. I want to help as many people as I can. And yes, I'm way out of my comfort zone because I don't play well with others. I never have. That's why I was a good trucker. But again, nothing happens in your comfort zone worth a shit. Excuse my French. Everything that is worthwhile happens outside of your comfort zone. And it doesn't matter whether you're a little bit out or a long way out. It doesn't matter as long as you're outside of your comfort zone. Is it uncomfortable? Yes, at first it's really uncomfortable. When I first started this, yes, it was uncomfortable. It was like nails on a chalkboard for me. When I go and start do live stuff, is it going to be uncomfortable? Hell yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Here's the weird part about me. You can put me, and people have, they've put me in front of hundreds of people or 5,000 people. They've put me in front of these people, and I've talked and I've told them different things, whatever it was that was going on, and tell them how I overcame it or whatever. I have been in front of a lot of people, and that doesn't bother me. The one-on-one bothers me. Being one-on-one with people, it always has. When I lived in Colorado, it was nice to live in Colorado because I lived up in the mountains. Population 4. That's what it was awesome. That's how I found my puppy Bear. And then my other one, Satchmo. That's how I got them. And I never took the wild out of them because they were wild. That was them. I got hurt once in a while playing with them because they didn't know how to play slow. They played full out. And when they got bigger, they could bite. They could really chomp. Did I bleed a lot? I had fun. And they had fun. And it was a blast. It was a total blast to be able to go up in the mountains on horseback and just, you're already living in the mountains, but you just go up deeper and you go camping or whatever, and your dog's with you. And it's like, it's amazing. It was an amazing feeling to be able to do these different things. You guys can do anything you want. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. And Boo just stresses that when his death has stressed that to me. Don't be afraid to take that step. Don't be afraid to be outside your comfort zone. And don't be afraid that people are going to reject you. Maybe some will. So what? The people that count, the people you care about, aren't going to reject you. They may give you good criticism. Well, if it's good criticism, then take that and then do the change if you feel you got a point. Otherwise, don't worry about it. It shouldn't matter because the people that matter are going to love you anyway. And the other people don't matter. It's up to you. Like I said, I want so badly for everybody within the sound of my voice. I want everybody within the sound of my voice to be able to live like your last day. Break through from all the fear and just take the step. When you were a kid, you were fearless. You got to get back to that, fearless. I'm not telling you to do something wrong. I'm telling you, be fearless when it comes to things you actually want to do, that you've wanted to do. Take that flying lesson or jump out of that airplane or go up into the mountains and fish for a couple days or whatever. Rent that cabin with your significant other. Play in the woods or on the beach or in the ocean or whatever. Take that sailboat ride. Tim McGraw got a song. I've told you about it before. Live, we're dying. Go skydiving, Rocky Mountain climbing. Go 4.7 seconds on a bull named Fu Manchu. Do what turns you on. That's what you do. And let your loved ones know that you love them. And I may let them know that you love them. As I said before, you have a chance to change your life every day that ends in Y. It's a fact. If you're waiting for your ship to come in, get off your dead ass and swim out to it. Because nobody, and I is going to drop it in your lap. And if they did, it wouldn't feel the same anyway. There's something about earning it yourself, doing it yourself. You earn something yourself, you protect it. If it gets dropped in your lap, you're like, who cares? That's a mind shift. It's all about what you want. It's all about what you're going to do. If you want things to change, you have to change. You want things to get better, you have to get better. It's a simple concept, and it's worth so much for those who follow it. I didn't always think this way. Jim Rohn is the one that started me on my path. Jim Rohn is why I'm still here. Rohn is how you spell his last name. You can hear thousands of free hours on YouTube of him. You can see some of his stuff even. He's funny as hell. Les Brown, that's another one. Tony Robbins is another one. Success leaves clues. Jim Rohn. Success leaves clues. All you have to do is follow those clues. Whatever it is. I hope you guys choose to make this your best day ever, because it is a choice, and you have that choice every day that ends in Y. Thanks for watching, guys. Till next episode.